I took the carb off of this thing, and I've got it soaking in some old glow fuel I've got. So I'm going to try and take this back plate off, see if I can even get it off. I may have to hit this whole thing with some heat. Took this one screw out already. It had some wanky little cross point screw and a big washer on it for some reason. These two screws are for the carb. Now I haven't done anything to this engine. I haven't heated it up, soaked it in anything, so I'm just going to, the way the back plate looks, it looks like it could be semi-welded on there, so I'm not having a high hopes that I'm going to actually get this thing off. I think I'm going to have to, at minimum, heat that thing up, and then maybe I'll get lucky. So I'm going to heat the whole engine up real quick and see if that helps me with anything. These head screws are kind of closed up. Wow, well, that one came out. That's cool. A couple of these head screws actually have slots cut in them, which concerns me tremendously. Makes me feel like no matter what, I may not get those out. So that one's definitely hosed up. Yeah, they're all kind of... Yeah, that ain't gonna work. I'm gonna have to find some other slotted head screw. So you can see how long that screw is. It does go down and then take this part off. I'm gonna have to go and heat this thing up. I'll probably spray it with some PB Blaster, heat it up, and see if I can't find a slotted screw that'll allow me to get enough leverage on those things to get them out. Well, before I heated it up, I found a slotted screwdriver and I just put it in one of them, and I kind of got lucky. So I'm going to see if I get lucky on these other two before I go and apply heat. I mean, I'm still going to have to apply some heat to get this back plate off, I believe. Let's see if I can even, it's hard to see these slots. Did I move that? Looks like I did. I'll soak these parts maybe in some fuel or alcohol. Let's see all this nastiness here. Try and soak that and try and clean that up as best as I can. Okay, so luckily these head screws are coming out. Pretty decent shape there. Oof. Wow. Let's see, that's pretty gross. But we'll see what we can do with this stuff. Anything that doesn't have any rubber on it, I'm probably going to drop in acetone. I'm going to go see if I can't get this back plate off so I can get the piston off, but I'm pretty sure that, yeah, that's what I thought. Well, look at this. That comes apart completely. Kind of a strange design. Pretty nasty looking engine. If I can get this back plate off, we'll be in good shape. Then I can take this all apart and we can assess the bearings and all that kind of stuff and see if it's an engine that I can actually get running. That's the goal, just to try and get it to where we can at least run it, get some video of it running, and I'll ship it off to my buddy and see what he wants to do with it from there on out. Okay, I hit this thing with a little bit of heat, and then I just kind of tapped it with a rubber mallet. I don't think I need that anymore. And I was able to get the back plate free. So there we go. There's our piston out. There's a bunch of crud here. I'm going to clean this all up real good. So wondering if I should go ahead and try and heat this thing out, heat this thing up and tap this crankshaft out too. The bearings actually feel pretty darn good, so I'm pretty impressed with that. I really do kind of want to tap that thing out now. I'm going to go apply some more heat to this thing and see if I can't get this crankshaft out. Okay, so I got really lucky. Super excited. Didn't even require that much heat, but I did heat this thing up. Front bearing stayed in, which is fine. But I was able to tap the crankshaft out. So this is very cool. Now we can really start kind of cleaning some stuff. So, because the owner of this engine sent it to me and said, do what you want with it, he has no emotional attachment to it, I'm going to do something that I don't normally do, which is I'm going to soak most of these parts in the basically the equivalent of calcium lime rust remover, CLR. I think the stuff I've got is Zeptec or something like that. It's actually from Lowe's. But it will clean up steel parts extremely well. It's not so friendly on aluminum, but this crankshaft, I'm just going to drop that right in there. These screws. Now it's going to want to attack the black oxide coating on these screws. Don't care. All the steel parts are going in there. In addition to some of the steel parts, I'm actually going to soak some of these other parts too that are aluminum and C. I mean, it says, the finish on this engine is pretty much destroyed anyway, but I'm just going to see what this does. All of this stuff. Yeah, even that with the steel liner. And I just set that in there. Drop this piston in here too. So I'm going to let this stuff set. Now the aluminum stuff I'm probably not going to let set nearly as long as the steel stuff. I'll take that out, start spraying it off with alcohol, wiping it down, but you can see the CLR really starts attacking corrosion, rust, calcium, which is I think part of what I'm seeing on the aluminum here, lime deposits and rust. It really starts taking that stuff and it starts attacking it. And you can see it's kind of almost foaming and frothing up here, so I might have to go get some rags. And this stuff is caustic. It's really not something you want to get on your hands a lot, because if you're handling it a lot, it'll start to burn eventually. I'm going to find a rag here, get my paper towels. Make sure I have some paper towels at the ready, because I'm probably going to start grabbing some parts out of here, just because I want to see what's happening with some of this stuff. I don't know if you can see that steel liner. It's really attacking that stuff on there. I'm going to leave that in there. Kind of hard to see some of this stuff now. And you can see what it did to that crankshaft right there. I haven't even scrubbed on it or anything yet. So the steel stuff, I'm just going to let that sit in there, but I was kind of hoping to feel around and grab that piston. Ooh, this is starting to burn already. I don't really have any gloves. I'm trying to find that piston. Here's the head. Let the head soak a little bit longer. Let me try. I really want to get that piston out. Okay, there we go. So I think this is a cast iron piston. We can test that real quick here. Yep. Got a magnet. So let me get one of my crappier magnets that I don't mind that CLR getting into, because that's how I'll get these steel parts out. That piston, the top of that piston looks pretty nasty, so I'm going to let that one soak a little bit longer. See if I can get those screws out. What I need A little bin here with some alcohol. A little tray of alcohol here so I can just drop parts right into that to clean them. The thing that's critical about this stuff is any of the steel parts, you want to get those cleaned up as quickly as possible and then put and really douse it with oil. This basically opens up the pores, if you will. And surface rust will start forming almost immediately. I mean, I don't have bearings for this thing, but this one, may not be in the best shape, but it spins pretty well. I could actually leave this in there a little bit longer. That's the steel piece, so let's grab this piece out of here. Paper gasket that's going bye-bye. Douse that around in some alcohol. You can see that. Clean that sleeve up pretty nice. Get my oil and start oiling these holes. I'm going to get a coating of oil on this cylinder or the sleeve. I'll put a little bit of oil all over these parts here completely to kind of help preserve them. What else is in here? Crankshaft. Is there anything besides the crankshaft? Something else in here for the head. That I didn't notice before. Maybe I did that, I don't know. One of these heads or fins just kind of broke. I wonder if that happened when I was taking that screw out. I'm sorry, Rob, I didn't mean to do that. See how it cleaned this up pretty good.